people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 27 of Phoenix Wright Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. Last time, we did some cross-examining. We basically discovered that there was no mirror there. I had to shamefully use a guide to help me because I was just drawing blanks on what the contradiction was. I knew it was like one of those two statements, and yet it kept messing up. Anyways, now let's do this. Was he alone at his table as well? Miss Wee, I saw him from the kitchen. Yet the defendant, Miss Bird, remembered it differently. She swears that there was another man at the victim's table. Ha! Unfortunately for you, Wright. Yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet bite. What kind of coffee has he been drinking?
It's not coffee, it's love! It's love that's bittersweet!
Hearing Maya say that makes her seem wise all of a sudden. Basically, the big thing is we're going to be showing that the radio broadcast happened before. That basically, the act of him hearing the broadcast was actually not when the show was airing. By old man, you mean Victor Kruger, correct? Oui, he comes here often for my special coffee. I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience. Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur! You are most welcome anytime! I said it was worth one sip, and nothing more. So old Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail. What time was it? Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived? Oh no, I cannot remember, monsieur. I believe we were told by a witness yesterday. The crime was reported at 2:25 by a kind of scary old man, sir. Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness? The incident happened around 20 minutes after he arrived. So the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10, no? Just after 2, huh? Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful. Sorry, I have to cough. Ha ha ha. Sorry. Ha ha ha! I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? The time of day will be added for the witness's testimony. Oui, monsieur judge. Everything I do it for you. Merci bien. That's French, isn't it? Ha ha ha! I'm glad this one person is in a good mood.
He's even having a song to himself!
Basically... Boom. I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. Quoi? What do you mean? At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week they announced the winning numbers of a $500,000 lottery ticket. Oui, that must be the show. So Monsieur Elg was listening to. I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright. I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your around after 2 p.m., correct? Oui, I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I had just finished serving lunch menu. Good. Sorry. Get to the point, right? If you have one. The show that broadcast live at that show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m. and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. It's on the air at 1:30? Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred at 2 p.m. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time. No! This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over. There is only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. The victim was an imposter acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elgs in Tribulations that day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and the phony Glen Elg acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness. It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how can you explain the time discrepancy?
Quite a performance, Wright.
You were almost on a roll. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your soul. What is this? Music Theory 101? Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony Glen is performing a prey for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain, then, where the real Glen is? I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court. However, at that time, the real Glen was already dead.
That's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Thank you, Wright. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. But what? Now, I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? The missing corpse? According to the old man's theory, testimony, there was only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glen, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? Yeah!
The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court.
What is wrong with? Why can't I read today?
You must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body?
Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture tonight. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Evidence?
What with the intense pressure all of a sudden?
I thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead.
Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. Glen concealed?
Inside Tribulations. It would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Tribulations.
Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. It was the kitchen. Yeah, now I can't help but believe that the real Glen Elk. Yeah, now I can't help but imagine John contemplating using Glen as an ingredient. The body was hidden here.
I see.
Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where is the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location? Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle? No! I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use la very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality only for moi.
Where was this bottle found, Mr. Wright?
Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Tribulations. Quoi? But I only ever use the bottles for my aromatherapy oils. But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication.
What kind of medication?
I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Glen Elk visited an otolaryngological clinic and was given medication that day. You can't be serious. The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle match the prescription that was given to Mr. Elk. Glen Elk's murder hit the body in the restaurant's kitchen. At that time, the bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen? Mon Dieu! Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggey Bird. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back. None!
Order! This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glen Elk?
Never! I could not do such an horrible thing. No. Oh!
Mr. Godo.
The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules. Do you have the slightest idea of how many cups you've had by now? Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear, my age-deficient friend? Chef, vous demandez pardon. Please, you must hear me out. It is a tap. Listen to me. Por favor.
Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor is Spanish.
I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it? No, absolutely none. Let's hear it. You got one shot, right, Gramps?
Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godo's coffee mug awaits you. As does my gavel.
It is clear. What do they always what do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this.
Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong.
The confession. It is true. I hid La body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me.
You were forced by who?
I cannot say, or I will be arrested. Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at his table? There was. There was another man. I knew it!
Maggey, you're telling the truth!
You may cause to have the witness now, Mr. Wright.
There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. Did you carry the body by yourself? I carried him, and I carried Maggey too. Maggey too? When she saw the victim collapse, she fainted. I could not leave her there.
But why did you hide the bodies?
What man? Who was he? No, I cannot say. I fear for my life. He's really scared.
You just have to put the words in his mouth, Nick.
Yeah, you're right. If he won't tell me, I'll tell him.
But why would you go along with this man?
And what reason could that be, Mr. Armstrong? You know, monsieur. Yes? Surely you cannot expect a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment. A maiden? You're a bit old to get away with that.
And a bit too male.
I can't finish the constitution without establishing his reason, so I'll just have to prove it with evidence. Just had to make sure. You have a $500,000. You have a $500,000 debt, don't you?
$500,000? Is this true, Mr. Armstrong?
Oui, je suis désolé. I was weak and I borrowed la money. This is Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel. And that's why you couldn't refuse anything asked you by this man. Gumshoe! A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything. This man told you to. Oui, it is as you say.
Mr. Armstrong!
Le Tigre, he told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting la victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to. I had no choice. I carried la body and la inconscient Maggey out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I tried to forget what I had seen. I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre.
I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison and the lottery ticket were recovered from the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well?
No, I knew nothing about that. Make it look like it was Maggey who had done it. I was not. It was despicable.
Mr. Godo? You will summon this Furio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow.
30 minutes.
What?
The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more. How the... Don't sit back and relax yet, right? No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way.
Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godo. We resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess.
To be continued. No. Okay.
So we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. We've all done this case one now, Nick.
I wish I could agree.
Huh?
I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now. He said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godo picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testifies is the truth.
You mean you think Mr. Armstrong was lying?
I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need. Hey, Bill! Detective Gumshoe?
Why are you so jumpy about detective? Your hair dang on it.
Hey, that's the plaque on the black wilderness top knot.
It's not a top knot.
Never mind about the hair. Just calm down, all right? I can still do. Well, I don't have a job to do. I can't get wound up. Ah! No kidding. You got something you need me to do anything, Bill? Well, hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour. An hour? The trial will have reconvened by then.
But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right?
True, without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you couldn't get some fingerprint analysis. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour. You bet. In that case, would you mind checking the prints out on this for me? If you're really going back to the station anyways, could you find out whose prints are on this? Oh, hey, that's the small ball I gave you back this morning, right? Yeah, I think it's time we solve the last mystery of who the prints belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too. Small ball, give the Detective Gumshoe. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess.
It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys.
January 8th, 1:56 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godo, did you find this Furo Tigre? I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem. I merely laced all of his coffee with elephant tranquilizers. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furo Tigre, but come on! He's pretty lively. Be careful. He still bites. Very well. Please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the... Ah! Don't hide under the table, Maya! Unless there's room for me down there, too. Would you mind? What'd you say to me? Nothing. I didn't say nothing. Honest. Who could have guessed that that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge? I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky? Ah, no, of course not. It was the judge. Your Honor? Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. That's it, we're doomed. Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What'd you say? There's no point in struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. And I am the one who holds you in. Grr. Too cool.
Don't let me get the matter, you Nick.
Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, mass boy. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggey Bird? Maggey who? I've got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course, well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Phoenix Wright. You's the one who set this up, didn't you? You's gonna regret the day you ruffled the Tigers for... You hear what I'm saying? Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today.
Get ripped, Nick.
I don't know I was about to, oh my gosh, I was about to read Tigre's line with Godo's voice. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up in business in December last year, spent all my time in the office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from Tender Linda every day. You want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta.
Last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. You're crossing there, please. Ah! Well, what is it, please? Witness, if you could refrain from shouting like that.
I know the kind of games that guy in blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. Lowlife, me? Listen up, Marty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000, and you's gonna borrow the cash from me. That's one loan contract I refuse to sign. And don't you think it ain't gonna hurt when you get tangled with the Tigre? Ha! I love a good spectator sport.
Just a minute. There's a really not.
This witness is, how do I put it, a hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side, and he'll bite everyone's head off. Yours too.
But very well. I have no choice but to oppose a penalty system.
You better be listening. I got business, big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus.
The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witnesses as well. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can do it, Nick.
Come out from under the there already, would you, Maya? Yes. Surprisingly enough, Tigre is actually one of the smartest criminals in the entire Ace Attorney universe. Because basically Tigre, he knew who he was going up against. Tigre knew that Phoenix would, that basically if he got Maggey involved in this trial, chances are Phoenix would get involved. So basically, Tigre, that's why he did everything. He did it in the event that Phoenix would get involved. That's why he took the role of Phoenix, and he was impersonating Phoenix. He was trying to get Phoenix out of the picture as soon as possible, so that way he could control the trial. Furthermore, just as you saw, he actually knows how Phoenix operates. A lot of criminals in the Ace Attorney universe just underestimate Phoenix and basically just fall into his trap of basically, oh, Phoenix will poke out every detail. Tigre, he knew his opponent. He knew what strategies Phoenix would be using. So really, you have to admire Tigre for just his complete thoroughness. We had to press this one. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is she talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says. So that's where I was.
Well, that seems like a rather sketchy schedule.
There he goes again. What the Tigre did all December isn't the issue. Or is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So, now what? Press harder. Mr. Tigre, what yous want? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail. This is a day and right, and you know it. Remember the rules. No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately.
I agree.
The victim was killed on December 3rd. Where were you in the office that day too? Maybe you ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before.
I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godo, if you could please...
Mr. Tigre, the court asked you to add that last statement to your testimony. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. Well, that kid had plans to see you. Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glen Elg, but it appears that Mr. Elg knew you. What? Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the Tigre. Dated December 3rd.
December 3rd? That's the day of the murder.
So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glen Elg, because the very day of the incident you met with him. Not bad. You's actually not bad. Sorry, I was just messing with you to see how good you were.
Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad.
That's one compliment I can do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth.
Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated.
Who's calling me a liar? Is that what you're doing? Oh. So you're claiming that you would never... CzarThwomp, you are really a mess today. So you're claiming that you've So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is true? I said I'm dead serious. You better believe that's the truth. Ha! Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigre.
Oh yes, would you mind indulging the court witness?
He never actually met the victim. That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. The victim, Glen. I ain't no liar. I never met Glen. There was some lame guy with that name, though, wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, Tender Lender. I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed up. I ain't never even been to that Tribulations joint. Use his?
I see. That all seems perfectly logical.
Though frankly, that should be something to call out for earlier, because I mean, he claims that he never knew anything about the incident. Tigre claims he knew nothing about the incident, yet he knows the restaurant. Tribulations' name was never mentioned once, and all it says is meet with the Tigre. It doesn't say anything about Tribulations. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead.
Very well, you may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
This one's also easy. Yes, Your Honor. Did I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you. Right. Grr. And also, it is kind of unsettling just how Tigre actually respects Phoenix enough to use his proper name, you know? A lot of villains basically just throw a bunch of insults at Phoenix, but Tigre actually seems to respect Phoenix as a rival of sorts. Okay, now where's the matchbook? Tribulations matches. Mr. Tigre, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? We'll hear that explanation next episode. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. With that, I'll see you later. Bye.